Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to another match preview. Welcome back to another live stream. Apologies for the lateness, but again, you guys are used to this channel. Like, I don't know what to tell you lot in big 2023. I'm not on time. So it is what it is, but bless for waiting, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you guys are watching on the playback, still hit the like button. Still subscribe if you haven't done so already. The super chat lottery is still running, so check that out too. Any super chat gets you in with a chance of winning the free Chelsea third kit or whatever kit you want from Jerseys FC. But while we're also on that as well, check out Jerseys FC in the description below for all your best affordable football kits. Doesn't have to be Chelsea. Any team in Europe, internationals, use the code CarefreeLewisG for 20% off at checkout. We've got 2 days left until the big game. Chelsea versus Arsenal. Starting to feel the anticipation a little bit more. I've been filming all day, so for anyone wondering why we didn't stream earlier, I was with Troops earlier. There's a video for that should be coming out soon. We did a little shoot with George Achillia as well, so check that out on his channel. But that'll come out around 2 weeks' time when the Spurs Chelsea game comes through. Some build up based on that. So keep a lookout for that. But we're live now, and I can't lie, I'm looking forward to this show. And there's a lot of good discussions to be had on this. But before we do anything, check out everybody's socials, check out everybody's channels. Links are in the title. Doesn't even take you away from the stream. It just opens a new tab. So head over there, sub to Goonie, sub to Northside, sub to Egal, and enjoy the show, people. First off, I have to big up my fellow Chelsea. Goonie, what are you telling me, bro? You all good?
Come on, man. Another day of life. I'm grateful, fam. You get me? It's always good to be back on the channel. Big up yourself as well, Eagle. Big up yourself as well, Northside. Apparently, the therapy sessions are going to have to switch up now, Northside, fam. You get me?
Yeah, they might have to be.
We're here.
Northside, what are you telling me, brother? You all good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've got my regular coping mechanism 1, coping mechanism 2. I'm good, man. Oh, it's icy as well.
I thought you spilt it, fam.
No. The lid's on, man. Come on, man. It's just a bit frosty, you know what I mean? A bit frosty. But hopefully our equipment ain't frosty. We do the business. But yeah, man. I'm good.
God willing it is. God willing it is. But we'll delve into it. Last but not least, of course, my guy, Gal. What are you telling me, bro? You all good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Looking forward to the conversation. And you know what? It's the double header because I'm going to have you on tomorrow. So we're going to do the same thing, hopefully, again.
Yes, guys. 7 o'clock, Egal's channel. I think it's going to be me, Ziad, you, and who's the other Arsenal?
Gunnar Souls.
Gunnar Souls. So check that out, people. Check it out. Big up to my guy, Ben, already donating, saying Arteta out, Lewis in. He is clear of Bum Teta. I hope this isn't a career mode joke because we don't need to address career mode right now. We're talking about actual real football. Let's not talk about that fucking hot mess that we've been doing over the last couple of days. But let's talk Chelsea-Arsenal. And it feels a bit weird because I remember we always used to be the favourites going into this fixture. We used to be the physical dominant side. And now it feels like it's just reversed. Igal, I want to ask you, how has it felt watching Arsenal this season? Because I've heard two varying sides to it. On one side, you're not really the same going forward. Don't make as much chances, but you're also a lot better defensively. And I could argue that that's a bit more of an improvement. We know the saying, goals win you games, defense wins you titles. So I think you guys are a lot more resilient and a lot more frustrating to play against. But how's the season been for you so far from an Arsenal perspective?
More expectations means more microanalyzation of the games. That's why I would say it seems much more underwhelming. Because last year we weren't expected to be this good. This year we're expected to be up there at the top of the table. We just beat Man City, and it's we're undefeated. 8 games into the season, we've played Manchester United, we played Tottenham, and we played Manchester City. And we're talking about being undefeated and still being a little underwhelmed. It's crazy. The standards that we're at right now, I love it. This is what we want to be. This is the standards we want to be at, where we've only dropped points in 2 games and it feels like a letdown to the club. This is where we need to stay at for the rest of the season. And that's why this game is such a big game. People might undersell it because Chelsea were poor to start the season, but because what we're competing for, every game is a big game for us. And that's why I'm gassed for this season. And as much as Northside will probably say all the negatives, there's a lot of positives to take away from the season. Our front three hasn't played more than 14 minutes together, and we're still up there with the goals. Our defense has been one of the best defenses, and we've had 2 keepers. One of them is one shy of the most clean sheets this season. We have the most clean sheets this season, I think, or tied for the most clean sheets. And overall, man, I'm just ecstatic. This team is serious, and I think we're building towards something well to be spoken about come the end of the season.
Interesting. Northside, you got the same sentiments, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, I will agree with Vigal on one point that he made, that we want this standard to stay here. You know what I mean? We dropped off after 04, and the standard should be every season that every game, if you want to win major honors, every game's a big game. Every point counts. You need to get maximum points, and you're going up against Man City. So I agree with that sentiment, but ultimately, there's still a lot of things that haven't been addressed. Last season, we went into January fixing the bench that was a light bench. But we're doing the same thing this January. We need a striker. We need a winger for rotation for Saka. So I'm seeing already repetition of last season in certain things. And in other things, we've regressed. This manager still struggles against counter-attacking football. He either goes all out in a game like he did the way we were playing last season, or this season it's controlling the game. But while we're controlling the game, a lot of times we're looking very rocky. 2-2 against Fulham, getting beat by Lons. These are little hiccups. Even in North London derby, we were 2-1 up. We couldn't even hold on to a 2-1 win longer than 5 minutes. Not even 2 minutes. Within 1 minute, we were 2-2. You know what I mean? So there's still a lot of things in this team that needs improving, i.e. the bench that a lot of us was told was fixed going into the start of the season. That bench is still the same porcaria from last season. This manager, I don't see him, being versatile tactically. We've seen him do a couple of good things against Man City, but yet on a consistent basis, I haven't seen him make the right substitutions early enough, change the formation, make sure you play players that are in form, like Trossard, not being in and out the team while he's in form, not overplaying Saka, not overplaying certain players that since they come to Arsenal have got injured, like Partey, and players like that. Saliba with an injury, he's been in pain for a couple of games, and now we've got a scare. The way he's managing certain players, for me, that's not how you manage certain players. I think Pep, the way he manages players is excellent. He doesn't burn out his players. Nobody's playing 90 games in a row. He rotates his formation and his players. And at the crunch end of the season, they're available to get them over the line. And I'm yet to see that from this manager. So listen, at the end of the day, every Arsenal fan that's going to tell me, oh, why are you panicking, are the same people that told me in January we're 8 points clear, don't panic, we're top of the league. The way you improve is how you have to look at things that you can improve on. And there are things that we can improve on, not only in personnel, but also in what this manager's doing. Because I ultimately think that the game against Man City, our defense kept us in that game. That game was screaming a draw. We rid our luck. But ultimately, going forward, we were rubbish. We were absolutely rubbish. We didn't do anything. You know what I mean? And people can lord up Kyrona giving a back pass, and Odegaard, another one that's caught the Kyrona virus, doing nothing in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Eddie and Ketty are running around, all of a sudden they're happy. Bro, but ultimately, ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? It ain't good enough. And I don't need to wait to the end of the season to identify these things. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't say it because I enjoy it. I say it because that's what I see. So, yeah, you can look at it as, everything's all rosy, but they looked at everything's all rosy last season when it was 8 points clear. You know what I mean? So
it's like you see the storm coming already, potentially. You already see worrying signs already then.
I've seen the storms in this club for 20 years. But
what's concerning? We literally haven't done anything concerning. We've been in gear 1 and we still won all our games.
Do you remember everyone saying this last season? And
last season, this was a breath of fresh air.
I was saying that the bench ain't fixed. I was saying that we ain't got enough on the bench. Oh, no, they can do a job.
No,
majority of that bench is still here. We're going into January and people are telling me we need a striker. I was saying that last transfer window. I was saying that the transfer window before that. I was saying the transfer window even before that. I was saying that Saka's going to get injured. Oh, yeah, he's got injured. I was second. Last season, everyone said, oh, if Saliba didn't get injured, okay, who's the backup? Because this season, why didn't we go out there and get somebody that's adequate? Because we got
somebody. He got injured, unfortunately.
But does anyone? If last season we got an injury to our centre backs, we put in Rob Holding, we put in Kivior, that we just bought. The guy weren't good enough. He was displaced by Rob Holding. We got rid of Rob Holding, and now our next centre back is Kivior. Is that good enough? Or should we not go out there and get a centre back? Should we not have got a centre back just in case Gabriel Saliba gets injured? This is the kind of proactiveness that has led us not to win leagues. Like when we didn't win it when Leicester won the league. And this is why I call it out. Because I don't need for everything to collapse to see that this Bucaria ain't good enough. Yeah? But we'll go with it, innit? We'll see, innit? At the end of the season, I'm not hearing that it's a light bench. Because everyone's saying that.
1 second. Quick question. Have we reached our full pump yet?
What full pump?
Have we seen our best yet this season?
Bro, I saw our best last season with
It's
the majority of the
best
same
so
squad.
far because you guys have got better defensively.
We've gotten better defensively, but we haven't actually seen our attack play at all well because they haven't played together much. And I just feel like you're the reason why you're upset is you're talking about squad depth, but our squad depth so far this season has gotten us to undefeated in the league, beating Man City, beating Manchester United at home. Yes, we drew against Tottenham and Fulham, but majority of the games we've done well. I don't think there's no reason to be going very pessimistic at this point. I get it, Northside, that's who you are, and I'm not going to change who you are. But I just feel like some of the things you're mentioning are things that we're looking to address or are currently being addressed at this moment in time.
Why were they not addressed before the season started? Is my thing.
Because you can't go and sign every player in every position you need to do. Sometimes there's certain limitations you have as a team. I don't think any team in world football can just go and sign every position and everything that they need. You look at Chelsea, they have an empty blank checkbook and they still didn't go and get another striker on top of Jackson.
Okay, cool. So this is the same narrative that I heard from Arsenal fans before we got Declan Rice. Arsenal, we don't buy a player for £100 million. We don't do that. FFP.
Now we can because we have a better squad.
You know, the last transfer window, we bought Declan Rice, who smashed our transfer record, and then we bought Kai Havertz for £65 million, which he now becomes our third highest signing, all in one window. We've got money. This narrative about we don't have money, we got money. This club does the bare minimum because when this club re-signed Eddie Nketiah, the majority of this fan base lapped it up. These filhos da puta were happy. When we re-signed Reece Nelson, these filhos da puta, don't worry, protecting his value. So now that we're going into January, we need more to be done. You filhos da puta weren't kicking up a fuss like me. So now, if we don't get the players over the line, well, you man were happy with them re-signing contracts.
Bro, majority of the fan base, once Timber got injured, I think majority. 1 second. I'm going to speak for I feel like majority of the fan base were somewhat underwhelmed once Timber got injured, looking at the window and saying to ourselves, yo, we didn't bring in enough. I think so. A lot of people were saying that. The thing is, yes, Declan Rice is a level raiser. Kai Havertz underwhelming. Timber getting injured kind of brings the transfer window down. Bringing in the goalkeeper, people were even saying, was it necessary? But him coming in, you can see that he's improved the team. I just feel like there is more to be done, but we've known that. And I don't think people were ever going to sit here and say the window's a 10-10. You didn't hear that this season. Let's be honest.
I heard it last January.
You didn't hear it this summer, but that's my point.
We didn't. Okay.
Yeah, no, because there was still the idea you needed a striker. Yeah.
So my point is, everyone agrees with you. It's just they're not kicking up a fuss about it because we're doing well. And we see that we're going to improve our team in January. We're heavily linked to Ivan Toney, just like Chelsea are, and we're also linked to today.
We're not getting Ivan. You're getting
today. We're also heavily linked to Victor Osimhen. So I don't know if
you're getting Ivan. I can tell you right now. Yeah, same way as I was saying about Declan Rice last January, even before then, you lot are getting Ivan Toney. I know this.
Shouldn't even be thinking about strikers until we pattern up ourselves.
That's my guy. I have wanted Ivan Toney since 2021. That's my dude.
Me too, bro.
Bring him into.
I hate that he's probably going to you guys. I despise it.
I'm taking Osimhen.
We're the 3 out of 10 at the club right now.
But you know what? If we don't get him, I don't want nothing to do with that Ethan Ferguson or whatever his name is.
Evan Ferguson. You don't want this, brother.
I don't want Evan Ferguson. I don't want another youth project. I want win now. Get me either Ivan Toney or Victor Osimhen in through the door, and let's compete now for major honors.
Fair enough, actually. Yeah, it makes sense.
agree with you,
You like that.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Also, Brighton would ask for some insane amount. The amount you could just
Yeah,
spend.
no more sales at Brighton, bro.
Big up to Max Morg saying Northside Egal. I must know Havertz's best position. Well, apparently you guys want him up front now.
I'll tell you
Even though
this:
we misprofiled.
Havertz was signed to play in a plethora of positions, but I think Arteta had an idea of trying to play him as a left 8. Let's see how it goes. So far, he's had many opportunities where it looked okay, and a lot of opportunities where it looked bad. So I get why people are frustrated with him.
His best position is back at Chelsea, bro. I don't want him at my club, bro.
No,
that
it's not.
coronavirus, I'm done with
It's
that
not.
guy, bro. Walking around like the Walking Dead. That Filu da puta does nothing, bro. German giraffe. I'm sick and tired of this guy, bro. And every single time, oh, look at his defensive duties. Oh, look at his scan rate. The guy's crap. Let's just call it out as it is. The guy's rubbish, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? This fan base will call out Pepe, yeah? I've seen Pepe do more for this club than Havertz, bro. That Filu da puta is trash. I'm sick and tired of him. I've seen enough. And they laughed at me when I said, yeah, Pepe was a better baller than Havertz. Laugh now. Pepe is miles a better player than Havertz, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I get why we got rid of Pepe, but he was much a better player. And I would have rather have persisted with Pepe, even though he plays in a different position, and come and bring Kai Havertz, bro. The guy's a bum. He does nothing, bro. He's a passenger in the middle every single time, bro. You know what I mean? Getting hand-me-down penalties, yeah, to put up his XG. I'm sick and tired of that Filu da puta. You lot can have him back. I'm done with that guy.
You had me until you said that part. We don't want him back.
No.
I'm dropping him off when I'm
with you
speeding
to
off,
the
bro.
game, but you take him back afterwards.
I'll drop him off in the car.
I'm not that out on
drive.
him. I'll be honest. I'm not that out on him. I'm not out on him yet.
Let me guess, the assist got to you a little bit, didn't it? Big
By
moment.
the end of this season,
I think he could end up being a serviceable piece. He's never going to be our best player. He's never going to be the player who we depend on to win us a game. But what he could be a very serviceable piece. We didn't sign him to be the best player on the pitch. We have a lot of players, and he's just supposed to be another piece of the puzzle. Mikel Arteta will figure it out.
If you guys did, though, I just like 65 million. You don't use that.
65 million for that. 65 million for a bench player.
Jorginho, when you sport to him for 12 million, like that makes sense. That's a big.
how much did we buy Kai Havertz for again?
72.
Arteta has a friggin' idea what he's gonna do with him. Let's see if it ends up working out, because he did say when we first signed him, it's never gonna look good the first game. You gotta see them play 50 games together before you see the finished article. So maybe he's gonna keep experimenting with it for at least a year before.
Shame I ain't got a Cole Palmer pick for that. I was gonna say that, brother. You don't need no time, no positional no adapting to positions, no nothing. Brother's just playing good football.
No, but listen, he's very young. Obviously, don't put that kind of pressure on him, because if he has a bad game tomorrow, you're gonna say he's still young and he's adapting.
No, because to me, he's one of the first players who's like, no, just give me the ball. I'm gonna try and make something. He plays like a veteran at his age. Yeah. If he has a bad game, he'll be like, okay, this is your first one. Cool.
You want to know something? He's the first player you guys have signed since Sterling, who's come in and just had the confidence right away.
I don't know how you buy a player for 65 million. Right. How did you buy a player for 65 million? This whole fan base gassed him up when they were calling him Shai Havertz along with everybody else in the Premier League. Yeah, all the other rivals to Chelsea. But all of a sudden now, we can come off the bench and do a job. That Filu da puta is done, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's infecting my club. Odegaard's looking worse, bro. Do you know what I mean? Even Declan Rice playing CDM is doing better than Kai Rona. He's going up. He could have had a brace against Man City. Why is that bum Kai not doing nothing, bro? I'm sick and tired of him. We're sponsored by Prime. We got Prime bottles all over the flipping gaff. And this guy's got no energy, bro. What's he doing? He's a bum. I've seen enough, bro. I've seen enough football to know a baller when I see a baller, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not hearing it, bro. The guy's a bum. And to be honest, there's even players I don't rate at Arsenal that I want playing ahead of him. Fabi Vieira, I don't rate him. But he's done more this season to warrant playing ahead of him. ESR's shown more. And he should be playing. But no, because it's fashionable to say Kai Havertz, oh, he's good header of the ball. No, he's not. That bum was missing even against the MLS All-Stars, even against Man United pre-season. Filu da puta. Does nothing. He's had 5 sitters this season, ain't scored none of them. I'm done with that guy, bro. Literally, he needs to go in self-isolation away from this team, bro, because he's making us worse, bro. I'm done with that guy. flipping. I don't saddle this field. I
Brother
don't.
God, I do not ask
no.
for much, but please get him in the starting lineup for this game. I don't think I've ever asked for a player for him to start a match in my life, but please.
I mean, he might not start, and if he does,
For your sake, I'd hope so, because like your
if
midfield's
he
going to be a lot
does-
stronger without him.
if he does play, he'll come off the bench and potentially be a substitute up top or on the left or on the right. I don't see him. I don't see him not on the left. I mean, in the midfield. I don't see him coming in from the beginning unless there's a situation where Partey gets dropped. And do you think he drops Partey for this game? I don't know.
Shouldn't.
What's his best attribute? Explain to me what he's very good at.
He's very physical and defensively.
Sorry, bro. Physical.
What attributes on the ball make him
He's
special?
a German
I'm trying to
crouch,
really be
bro. He's got no
neutral, bro.
physicality. What are you talking about? He's physical, bro. He looks lanky like a cheese string. The guy ain't got no physicality. Come on, Igal.
I've seen that brother go like 0 for 9 on Jules 1 in games.
Nah, listen, I kind of feel like we're doing result-based analysis with Kai Havertz. The guy has not been as bad as people are making it out to seem. But hey, it is what it is.
He's trash, man. You know you were bashing him when he was at Chelsea. Come on, keep it real.
Bro,
just because he's
the thing is, he's headed back to Stamford Bridge for the first time. He could dunk on the head top. You never know.
So one game, and we're celebrating. One game is parade.
No, but if he dunks on their head,
no, remember Kai Havertz.
That's a big. If he dunks on Chelsea's head, that's worth 3 games alone.
I will say, like, that might be one of the darkest days in this club's history if he bags a goal against us on Saturday.
If he bags the winner, it would. But yeah.
Yeah, a little consolation. I couldn't give a shit. But I don't think there'll be enough goals in this game for there to be a consolation. To be fair, Goonie, I want to bring you in as well. How do you feel going into this game from a Chelsea perspective? Because there was one thing Igal said that stuck out to me, and it was, and actually, I think it was Northside who said it, where they're not really as good on the counter attack. Well, no, defending the counter-attack, not attacking, defending the counter-attack. Do you feel like that might be our only chance of getting something in this game? Or if anything, where do you think our strongest point is?
I think when you look at it tactically and certainly from what I've seen of Arsenal so far this season, there can be vulnerability in that counter-attack. There can be. Now, my thing is, do I trust these guys to do the business and make it count? I don't know yet, bruv. I really don't. I'm still at that stage where, yeah, we got, however many goals in the last 3 games. This is a different ball game altogether. We're playing Arsenal now. And in games like this, right, even if they defend well, you got to take your chances. As a striker or as a winger or whatever, it's a game where it could be one chance, it's got to be 1 goal. Who in my squad do I have that I can close my eyes and say 1 chance, 1 goal? Not a single player. Not a single player. So based on that, I'm looking at it this way. We're going to have to do more than just try and hit them on a counter attack. We're going to have to try and create opportunities, honestly speaking, because like when I look at, I still don't trust Nicholas Jackson. I'm sorry. I still don't trust him. And the onus is on him.
I hear you.
And the onus is on him to prove me wrong. I'm not convinced by him, but I'll support him. Mudryk, some people will say, look at the goal he scored for Ukraine. All right. But look at the opposition that he was playing. I like to contextualize things. Yeah. If he does it in the Premier League, great. Do I think he's going to do it against Arsenal? I'm not too sure, bruv. If he does, he's going to surprise me. But for me, I'm going to be, and I know it's mad because Igal did say as well, can't put pressure on these young boys. But when you look at our players that are naturally creative, unfortunately, the one that's looking the best is a teenager that's just arrived from Manchester that I didn't know nothing that too much about. Do you know what I mean? I'm pinning my hope on his shoulders to create enough chances so at least 1 or 2 of them can go in. That's what I'm hoping. Now, you know me, Lewis. I ain't just going to sit here and just blow gas for the sake of blowing gas.
Nah, I hear it.
But for me, considering where we are, remember, and I know the Chelsea fans are going to be like, Goonie, come on, how can you say that? You got to look at things realistically and where exactly we are in our development. We are not the full article. We are missing certain key aspects to this team before we can start pushing to more serious positions. And now, what I mean by that is you're playing an Arsenal team who I think, and again, it makes me sick to my stomach to say this, but William Saliba, I said it from Saint Etienne, yeah, when he was partnered up with Wesley Fofana. This guy is a generational centre back, and whoever gets this guy is definitely going to, that whole defense is going to improve. I saw how this man locked down Haaland. Brings me to my next point. Broya cannot play this game. As mad as much as I trust him more in front of goal because he's more of a number 9 and he's done it most of his time as a youth and in the senior level as well. This has got to be a game where you need Nicholas Jackson. Why I say that is because Saliba, Jackson likes to drop. Saliba's not gonna come too far to follow him. He's gonna drop deep. Do you know what I mean? So just his positioning alone, because you know him, he doesn't always occupy that central position the way you want him to. But I think in this game, it could actually work in our favor if the other 2 attackers next to him are in tandem. Do you know what I mean? So I don't even know, bro. I honestly, I don't even know what to think of this game. I'm not super confident. I'll be real with you. I'm not confident. But like you were saying, it's the counter attack for me where I'm looking for our attackers to take their opportunities. And I'm looking at Cole Palmer really to just be creating the chances and hoping.
He's the only attacker that could really just say like you. Exactly. I know you got something for me.
And I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that these attackers, they sniff the danger, they find themselves in the right positions and take those opportunities. But based on the sample size I'm seeing, I'm not overly confident that's going to happen. But hopefully they'll surprise.
That's the thing. I'm just going to say this. You're going to need to be the most clinical you've ever been in over 2 years to score against us. Because the chance creation that you guys have been making is going to be limited. What we've been able to do in the last 8 games is to try to limit chances. And teams that have scored goals against us have scored based off minimal opportunities. I'm talking 2 chances, 3 chances, sometimes even 4, and if you're lucky, maybe 4 or 5. But City got 4 chances against us. I think Manchester United, that was a much more open game than I thought, but they were clinical with their goals to get 2 goals in that game. So Chelsea's going to have to be extremely clinical. And do you believe Jackson, Mudryk, all these guys, if they're in the final third, can you trust them with 1 or 2 chances in a game to get you the victory?
No,
it's just an on this day thing with everybody except Cole Palmer, even Sterling.
Do you know who else as well? Another player that I'm looking to, and obviously his traits are more in terms of, he's more known for his defensive work, but Caicedo's transition play is very heavily underrated. People don't watch his transition play. When he breaks up the attack, it's like he already knows exactly where that ball's going once he gets that ball back. We're going to need a performance and a half from him as well. He's going to be key in this game, 100%. Not just for that, but also to screen that defense as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be a massive game for him on Saturday, man. The first real big test for Caicedo, in my honest opinion, to show that he is worth the price tag that we put out.
I think it's a massive game for us, not just in terms of the rivalry, in terms of the fact that we need points. I'm looking more at the games ahead. Like, to me, a big performance in this game makes me a little bit more confident with the games coming up.
100.
Brentford, Tottenham, Man City before the break. If we can go against Arsenal, step toe-to-toe with them and have a good performance in 90 minutes, play to win. But if you draw and you've had a good performance, I'll be like, all right, cool, it's Brentford next. I think we can at least step up against them and we can do something. Tottenham away afterwards, like, you never know. Tottenham could Tottenham. Man City, just try, innit? Just try. I'll give you an A for effort. And Newcastle, potentially.
This is the toughest game you could have at this moment in time. We just beat Man City. Confidence is extremely high. Based on that alone, it's probably your toughest.
You mentioned it.
It is your toughest test and probably the toughest team you could face. So as much as Chelsea fans are happy and they're like, you know what, you don't want to, you're happy you're on 3-game winning streak. You don't want to face an on-form Arsenal team that's undefeated, that's just come off their biggest win of the season.
But then, Igor, it depends on which Chelsea fans you talk to. Obviously, it's great to win games. You can only play what's in front of you. But me, I like to contextualize. Not for a single second, right? I was overly joyed by that. In fact, I'm still underwhelmed because there was 3 or 4 games before that that were winnable that we should have won. Do you know what I mean? We should be talking, Lewis, real talk. We should probably be talking a 5-6 game streak, or at least 5-6 wins by now, with the run of games that we started with. And I feel that's even being generous. Do you know what I mean?
That's not even the biggest worrying point. My thing is more like, even when we've won, I haven't really, other than maybe the Fulham game, seen us have a consistent 90 minutes. I say probably only the Fulham game.
Exactly.
And that's what's right. Even Burnley, as soon as we gave the goal away, we were crap until we got the own goal. It was a little bit of luck.
Can't do that against Arsenal.
I say it's first goal wins. Realistically, it's like, no, we have to score first.
One second. Let me see if Northside's on the same page as me. Northside, you're not worried about this game, are you?
Are we doing our match predictions now?
No, not score predictions. I'm gonna let Lewis do that when he wants to.
But that does lead into a little question.
Am I worried about this game?
Are you worried about this game? Does Chelsea scare you at all? Are you worried about us making mistakes? What are you worried about? Because it seems like you're very pessimistic. I'm
not that worried about. Goonies kind of said how I felt about them. There's, I feel like they have to be compact and hit us on the counter attack. That's when we're the weakest. When if they play a high line, then that plays into our hand, and I can see us winning quite comfortably. But they haven't got Drogba anymore. They haven't got Costa anymore. These players where you can give them 2-3 chances a game, they're at least going to bury at least 1 or 2. They don't have those kind of ballers at their club at the moment. You know what I mean? Those kind of killers. So I'm not that worried about Chelsea, if I'll be completely honest. As much as I don't completely rate this Arsenal team, I still feel like we've got enough to deal with Chelsea. The only thing I'm worried about is the fact that this manager persists with Havertz even when he's not playing well. And he's persisting with Raya. And Raya's distribution from the back cost us a goal against Lens, which we ultimately lost. And let's keep it real, Gal. Within that opening 15-20 minutes against Man City, Raya could have at least cost us a goal. There was 3 chances where his distribution, literally he's handing it back to the opposition. If we do that against Chelsea, I'm sure they'll take at least one of those chances. We were very lucky. Alvarez almost scored. You know what I mean? From Raya's poor distribution.
Did you watch the post-game press conference? The manager said, we knew against City we weren't going to have many opportunities. It was my fault. I told the players to be more risky and to hold on the ball longer. And I made Raya do things that he didn't necessarily would do.
But Raya did that against Lens, though. So it's not just a one-game thing. His distribution's been a bit woeful. That pass into Tomiyasu that hit the back of him and then they scored off of it, it's been a bit shaky. And that's why I feel like he needs to go on the bench, bro. Play Ramsdale. Ramsdale, bro, this is the time that Ramsdale's got fire in his belly, bro. He got us to second last season, which isn't a massive achievement, but he's going to be thinking, rah, this new goalkeeper comes in, takes my place. And then look at what he's doing. Listen, I'm gonna grab it with the opportunity by 2 hands, and I'm not gonna allow him to get back into this team. This is the excellent time to be bringing through Ramsdale. You know what I mean? And
I don't really.
Manager is what annoys me at times because
I don't really care.
Can play badly and they play. Other players they play well. Fabi Vieira's played well. He gets put on the bench. ESR's come on at certain games and played pretty well. Dropped. Trossard's played well in certain games. Been dropped. You know what I mean? But Raya has to play. No matter, even if he drops a stinker, he has to play. So is Havertz. So is Nketiah. Did
he really drop a stinker? We kept a clean sheet versus Man City at home. Like, I get it. He was nervous, but let's not overreact, bro. The reality is we have 2 great keepers.
It's not overreaction.
No. 1 second. I partially think Raya was nervous, and I hear you. He has made 1 mistake leading to a goal, and in the City game he was nervous. But in actual reality, he's had 3 clean sheets in the Premier League and a clean sheet in the Champions League. He's been pretty much spotless in most of those games. I'm not going to freak out, and I don't think Arteta's going to take Ramsdale and just throw him into this game. I still like Ramsdale. I still think he's a top keeper. I think we have 2 great keepers. But the thing is, I think it's going to be a situation where we keep one consistently playing, and the other one is either going to end up being sold, or it's going to be a situation where Arteta's going to find a way to rotate them to make them both happy. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's going to have to figure something out.
I don't care if they're happy. I care about winning, to be honest. I couldn't care less if they're happy or not.
And you do realize
playing better plays. I couldn't care less if they're happy. They're getting paid now.
Do you realize Raya keeps the game more in control?
Bro, Am I factually incorrect in saying that his distribution in Lens cost us and it could have cost us against Man City? Is that factually incorrect?
It didn't end up costing us versus Man City, but against Lens, yes, we continue to go from it.
Bro, Alvarez almost scored, bro. It hit the side netting. And
that's not a shot on target.
He made three errors distribution-wise.
That's not a shot on target. Hitting the
Bro,
side
did
net
he
is
or did Raya kick the ball into him?
This is the problem at Arsenal. When you've got the favourites, you can't drop them. Last year it was Ramsdale.
Bro, it has nothing to do with favourites.
You can't drop him. If the guy is making mistakes, eventually those mistakes are going to punish us.
But it has nothing to do with favourites. I think you're over-exaggerating.
Okay, so if you rate Ramsdale, put Ramsdale in because Raya needs to be dropped. He's making mistakes.
I think he rates both keepers because he brought both of them in.
I don't care what he rates. The player's making mistakes, bro. 2 games in a row. Drop him. If you don't drop him for that, what do we need to lose a game for you to drop him? We lost against Lens. It cost us against Lens. We lost 2-1. We could have drew that game if you didn't make that stupid mistake. I mean, I don't understand it, bro. Like, I don't have no favorites. My favorite is Arsenal Football Club.
Honestly,
if you're not playing well, go to the bench.
Simple. I don't really care. But I think the consistency in his performances still merits for him to keep his spot. I think for a goalkeeper to lose their spot in the league, it might have to be a tactical reason. And I don't see a tactical reason in which Ramsdale will start this game. Do Chelsea take a lot of long shots, or do Chelsea are they going to be facing a lot of shots?
Nah, when we take a long shot, I just think, thank God someone tried.
Yeah, so I don't really see the worry. Set pieces. Do you guys do a lot of set pieces?
Yeah, I'd say be a bit concerned about set pieces, but you guys have a lot of tall players too, so it kind of goes both ways.
So there you go. I'm just like, what's the real? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but what is there that Chelsea have to offer in a 90-minute game that is going to be so threatening where we need to change the goalkeeper?
It's just going to be a resilient defense, transition play. That's all I really see going to be able to do. That's about it.
I'm going to just bring it back. You guys hold on to possession. When you hold on to the possession, do you guys think you create so many openings and cut teams open, or do you just think you get the ball quick up the pitch into your attackers? How do you dissect how your team gets opportunities?
Depends on the stage of the game. If we're not losing, I'd say we move the ball a bit quickly. If we're in a losing position, we're just passing the ball around aimlessly most of the time. We're allowing individuals to try and do something.
In those positions, have a team ever just sat off you guys, pressed your midfield and won the ball back and scored?
A lot of unforced errors.
Yeah, I'm thinking individual mistakes in the West Ham game.
Because that's Liverpool what we do. First half. Once we score goals, once we score a couple goals, we kind of just let you kill yourself. We give you the ball, hold it down, keep it in the pass the ball around with your defenders and your midfield. We win the ball back. 2 passes, it's a goal. That's happened how many times this season? That's what we try to do. We tried to do it against City, didn't really work. But what ended up working was a long ball to Tomiyasu and Kai Havertz. So eventually we found a way. We have many different ways of playing now. So it's not going to be free-flowing, attacking football for 90 minutes. It's going to be times where we're just like, Chelsea, keep the ball. Do what you got to do. And we'll see if your boys can hold on to it.
So if it's that comfortable, then you guys should be winning comfortably in terms of scoreline.
No, I'm just telling you. I believe there's going to be many different tactics flown out in this game, and it's going to get to a point where you guys might even have possession, but it might not be possession that's leading to anything. So I still believe it's going to be a comfortable win. I agree with you. It's just I'm not sitting here being disrespectful. I think it's going to be a close game. It's just the performance will say it's a close game on scoreline. But the actual result will come from a game where it's Arsenal in control for 90 minutes, even though you have the ball.
Okay, that's fair enough. In terms of the whole season as a whole, though, with the defensive improvements and everything, should Arsenal be winning the league? Not will, should they?
I think we should. I think we should be. I think the only thing that can stop us is if Manchester City go on another demigod friggin' run, that they don't lose a game for 18 games to end the season again. That's the only thing that's going to stop us.
And that leads me into my next question. So let's say Arsenal don't. do we have uncomfortable conversations about Arteta with like, I know he's got 1 year with the potential to extend for another year, I think up to 2025. So if you guys don't win the league, what happens with Arteta? Do you think he should be re-signing?
I think it always comes down to context, but at the end of the day, if you don't win the league,
sack him.
If he
doesn't win a major honor, sack him.
Let me land. At the end of the day, it comes down to many different things. One, depends on what the context of how it happens. Number two, we can't sit here and just say, "Oh, a team that got from one step to another step every year is massively improving is just going to continue to drop points at the business end of the season and lose." There's going to have to be something looked into. Is it either the player's mentality? Is it the manager? We're going to have to see it from there. But right now, without knowing what took place, if you're just telling me we didn't win the league, of course, there's going to be major questions over Arteta, and he could potentially lose his job. But the only way I could see Arteta losing his job is if we somehow finish 4th or 3rd. I don't see him losing his job if we lose.
Well, if it's like 2nd, but with a 10-point swing,
that is catastrophic. How are we going from? If you're going from challenging for the league to finishing 10 points clear behind City, what happens in the Champions League? Are we knocked out? Are we knocked out of all the cups? Then there's a massive conversation there, because we have to be more competitive, not only in the league, but in the cup competitions. We have to be competitive in the FA Cup. We have to be competitive in the League Cup, at least get far in some of those competitions. We can't throw them away like we did last year. And when and Northside's going to probably agree with me on this. And when it comes to the Champions League, I don't expect us to win it this season, but we should try to get as far as we can in the Champions League also. There's no more, this is the Europa League, we don't care if we don't want to win it.
Do you mind if I chip in for 1 second?
I never agreed with the bigger fish to fry statement. Big up Robbie, but I never agreed with that.
I think, honestly, and bear with me, people, and the chat, I think Arteta has done a good job in the context of he's done what, if he doesn't win the league this year, he's got to go, because I think it's a case of he's taken you to that next level, but now you need somebody who's got that experience of getting it over the line to take that job. And what I mean by that is like if a Carlo Ancelotti becomes available, I'm not saying specifically him, but somebody of that ilk becomes available and to take the reins, right? I think you're more likely to cross that line. Honestly speaking, if Arteta doesn't do it this year, do you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I would be looking to replace him.
Yeah. Well, North side, I want to hear your side, and even though I kind of know what you're going to say anyway, I just want to know if you got any points you want to say.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, if he doesn't win a major honor, sack him. You know what I mean? I don't care anymore. Like, Arsenal fans, bro, I'm not hearing it, bro. These men always want to say...
Hold on. Is the FA Cup good for you? Good enough for you? All right, I respect that. I fully respect that. I hear that.
No, because this fan base... Yeah, and I actually think they were right for doing this, because I wanted him out as well. It wasn't enough to save Wenger's job. So why is it enough to save this guy? This guy ain't a legend like Wenger. You know what I mean? And Wenger, FA Cup didn't save his job. So for me, I'm not hearing none of this. At the start of the season, all these top reds, the majority of Arsenal fans' predictions at the start of the season was, we're going to win either the Champions League or the Premier League. We're going to win major honours. We're going to go far in competitions and win a major honour. I'm not hearing this about context. The context is this. We no longer talk about the Kroenkes. You know why? Because they're giving this manager money. Yeah? This manager has been able to win the war against Ozil, win the war against Aubameyang, get out the players that he wants, re-sign the players that he wants, sign players that's almost coming up to £700 million, buy in Kai Havertz, even though the fan base at first were like, what's going on with this signing? The owners probably didn't want him. They still backed him. Broke our transfer record with Declan Rice. I am not hearing no pucaria from no one, bro. This guy has got everything now. He's actually got more than Wenger. Yeah, I remember with Wenger, it's like, oh, but we're paying off the stadium, we can't spend money. This guy is spending money, bro. And if he spends it badly, that's on him. I don't care. It's not my fault that he went and got Willian. It's not my fault that he got David Luiz. It's not my fault that he went and got Cedric and got Tomiyasu and got Fabi Vieira, Lakonga, re-signed Nketiah, re-signed El Nene, re-signed Holding before getting rid of him. I don't care, bro. Yeah? It is time to deliver. When we first got this manager, phase 1, phase 2, how long did it take Klopp? By this stage, Klopp already won a major honour. No Arsenal fan is crying that Poch got sacked. Do you know why? Because he was a nearly man. And when you're a Neely man, you get sacked. When Lampard got all that money, what was it, £300 million he spent or whatever in one transfer window? Eventually, with spending big money comes big requirements. When he didn't meet that, sacked. The same with Ole. No Arsenal fan said, "Oh, you know what? That's wrong." You know, if they were on phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, we don't care. We do not care. Let's keep it real. Put the club first. If this manager doesn't get it over the line this season, sack him. Because this is his squad now. This is his team, his decisions. He's been backed. We don't talk about the owners. I'm not hearing it anymore. While we've had Arteta,
last year,
have lost. Look at the quality of manager, yeah. While these are screaming process and project and youth project, we've missed out in even trying to go for Klopp, trying to go for Pep. Not saying you're getting all these managers. These were managers that were available. While
Pep
we're sticking
Klopp
with
were
this
already
guy.
hired before we saw hired.
We went, yeah, because we got Unai Emery, and when we got Unai Emery, they were actually thinking about getting Arteta because Unai Emery didn't.
Pep and Thing were already hired before Unai Emery.
Hold on, let me land because when you was talking, you said let you land. Let me land. Yeah. We could have went for Ancelotti. Ancelotti went to Everton. Yeah. Oh, we don't want Ancelotti. I was hearing from this fan base. Really? Oh, he's washed. He's at Everton.
What? Who said that?
This fan base, bro. I got the receipts. This fan base said we don't want Ancelotti. He's washed. He went to Everton. This is fantastic. Be finished up with that. Say, oh no, sir, why are you angry? Because I have to hear Bukaria all the time. Yeah. Oh, he's what? Is he washed? Is he? Is he? Man. He went and done at Real Madrid at a proper club with a proper budget. Yeah, but he was washed. Oh, we don't want Ancelotti. Oh, Simeone. Really? He's more fit for this job than Arteta. Simeone doesn't have oil rich owners. Yeah, but he competes with Barcelona and Real Madrid every year and wins major honors. Maybe not all the time, but he wins it. This manager has to
Simeone wouldn't work at Arsenal.
Yeah? Oh, but we don't want Simeone. What do you mean don't want Simeone? Before we had Arteta, before we had Wenger, we had George Graham, the only manager to win in Europe for Arsenal. What are you talking about?
Identity has changed.
Rubbish, bro. But now, this season, they don't want toxic football. Oh, we don't want toxic football. Yeah? Oh, we don't want... What are we doing this season? Because this season, we ain't going gun-ho. It's the same as sitting back and hitting teams on the counter. But you don't want Simeone, it's negative. But when Arteta does it, it's amazing. When Arteta does it, it's amazing.
People on counters.
Get out of here, man. Listen, my channel's got all the receipts in it. Northside LDN, you ready? I got all the receipts, bro. You know what I mean? End of the season. Man's got all the receipts. You know what I'm saying? You don't want Simeone, but you want Arteta to play negative football. Who wins major honors playing?
Simeone's hired.
Oh, we don't want Conte.
One second.
We don't want Conte.
Arteta.
Simeone.
Oh, these men are jokers. When I said
in
Conte, oh, we don't want Conte. Really? Really? Don't want Conte? What's the difference between the way Conte played football to how we're playing football this season? Because we ain't playing expansive football this season.
Bro, why do you want retired dinosaurs, bro?
Retired dinosaurs.
Let's respect Conte.
Don't do this. Don't, please. Not
Tottenham. Right now, who's a better manager, Arteta or Antonio Conte? Arteta. Why are we chatting?
Oh, you're talking about Conte. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna throw in Ancelotti.
Now, who's a better manager, Antonio Conte or Arteta? Arteta, we've seen it. We witnessed it with our own eyes. Why are we acting like managers can't move on?
What are you talking about? Do you know what we witnessed from Conte? Yeah, we slapped them. Bro, yeah, he changes the system. Doesn't need Project 5, Project 4, youth project, £700 million, and goes on and wins the league. And who does he win the league against?
Liverpool right now.
Oh, that's right. He wins the league when Pep is here. While Pep is here, one season. Your manager taking how many? Almost 5 seasons.
If Klopp left Liverpool right now, they would hire Xabi Alonso. That's what I'm telling you. They would hire Xabi Alonso because managers have moved on. Football's moved on. These new young managers, the way to go. And people would hire this guy. You guys would hire Julian Nagelsmann if you wanted. You wanted Julian Nagelsmann before Poch. These young new managers is the way to go. Just because they're not the old school Ancelottis, the guys who've won every major honor. That's not sometimes how it goes. And you know what? If Arteta does get sacked or he does leave, which I don't see it happening, potentially we might go for a more proven manager at that point because we have a team that's gotten to the level where we're attractive enough that we have the pick of any manager. But at the time, put yourself back in the situation we were in. We were worse off than Chelsea. We haven't won anything in a long time. Our team was poor. We just came off sacking a manager after having him only in the job for a year after Arsene Wenger. We had a manager who came in in an interim manager who's a former player of ours, and Freddie Lundberg, who basically said, if you're not going to support me, get me out of here, because the situation was tizzy. And we went and after we lost to Man City, we went to Arteta. He was previously part of our recruitment for manager before we hired Unai Emery, and we brought him in. And I'm not going crazy about this Arteta situation. Guess what, Lewis? You want to know something? Any team that's competing for the league has pressure. That's the reality. Your team, every time you're competing for the league, there's pressure. I encourage the fans and the team to embrace the pressure. Stop cowarding away from it. Stop saying, oh, the pressure's on other people. It's on us. We know it. That's the facts. We're going to take it. We win a game.
I think because of how long it's taken, the pressure's built even more with you.
You want to know something, bro? Because we haven't won the league in 20 years. The pressure is more. Because
Just why there's so much anticipation.
Man City could lose the league this year. No one cares. They will not get no stick, no corn, nothing. They
I wouldn't say they wouldn't get corn if they don't win the league.
Man City could go trophyless. They have so much credit in the bank.
No, but then they're going to be like the empire's falling down as Pep falling off.
That's the reality. Chelsea, you guys go trophyless last season. Everyone knows you're in a transition. You go trophyless again this season. Everyone knows you're in a transition.
We were getting cooked last season in spite of it. Everyone said
Chelsea. You're going to get cooked because you're Chelsea. You're going to get cooked because you're Chelsea.
But that's pressure. That's what happens when you don't live up to the pressure.
Reality is, I've eased off on Chelsea because I understand you guys are in a process. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say, trust the process for Arsenal. And then when you guys are going through your process, make fun of you the whole time. I'm not going to do that. but at the same time,
better man than me, I won't lie.
But at the same time, it is kind of funny. It is kind of funny seeing you guys go through the same situation we went through and having your fans melt down and say we're not Arsenal when you're clearly going through the same situation that we went through. This is the exact situation we were in when Jose Mourinho said to us, they think they're going to beat us with a bunch of kids. Because
I think being like Arsenal is subjective to what you see being like Arsenal is. Like, to me, going through a process isn't. Accepting going backwards or stagnating is. And I wouldn't say we're doing that. Start of the season, I'd say maybe people didn't really want to look at the results that were happening, but that was also because it was early on in the season. I kind of understand that. Now we've got a couple wins on the bounce. People are a lot more patient with Poch. So, like, I wouldn't really say, like, we're being like Arsenal too much. It's just, this is football. It's not just Arsenal. Arsenal aren't the ones that started the process. Like,
football goes in cycles. You guys are in your cycle. But guess what? I think Northside is very impatient. But guess what? Your fan base has 100 more Northsides than me. And you guys are not patient at all. There's people there's people who want Pochettino out already.
But remember, but when you look at our club, right,
there is actually
and you look at the past 2 decades of our club,
that's not an insult to you, bro.
But I'm just saying we've had a precedent from an owner like Roman Abramovich, who's just demanded nothing but success, and he doesn't matter whose head has to roll to get that success. This is the culture that's been instilled in the club. And I even said when this takeover happened, and once they started voicing off their plans, their long-term plans, that it's going to be a very painful and difficult transition for Chelsea fans to accept because of what we've been used to for the past 2 decades. You've also got to remember, 2 decades is a long time, bro. Like, there's some people that was born in them 2 decades, come up through them 2 decades. That's all they know. You know what I mean? So this transition, measuring your expectations for the immediate anyway. I'm not saying long term, but for the immediate, it's going to be painful for a lot of Chelsea fans. And the thing is when I speak like this as well, people think that, you're just accepting mediocrity. No, I'm accepting reality and what it is. Do I want it to be like this? Hell no. I want us to be on all fronts. I wanted us to win the treble last season. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things, but like, you got to be realistic about certain things.
Can you pull up that comment from Casper Clinton?
Sometimes I can't recognize the gal. 1 minute he's talking trash at Football Terrace, and now he's speaking so intensely here.
Is it me, or do people just have they have different impressions of me where they see me? This always happens.
It's just some things you agree with, some things you don't agree with. Just life.
Your owner, I want to know, Lewis, have you changed your opinion on the owner yet? Because he's literally the reason why your team is on such a weird situation. First, you buy 100 players, then you sell a bunch of players, then you bring in a bunch of young players. It's the direction of the club. I feel like they've changed directions from when from the summer when they brought in all the older players to the January where they went youth, selling all these guys. Everything has been reacting. Nothing really proactive. This hasn't ever seemed like the plan was it followed through past
It's because we had a messy squad and like we had to react to that, and the reaction was just the quickest clear out I've ever seen. Like, I don't think they've done anything wrong except sacking Tuchel. Other than that, they haven't really done anything.
Don't you think signing all those players in the first place when you didn't know if you're going to keep Tuchel was a problem?
Yeah, that is
yes,
it is.
Yeah,
Lewis,
no,
you got to call a mistake for what
I'll
it is.
give him
'Cause,
that's
Lewis,
a mistake too. But as of right now, like, what's he doing wrong?
Okay,
I'll give you that one, to be honest. Like,
what about January?
like,
investing all that money in guys like Michaela Mudryk when you didn't know 100% that's who you even wanted to begin the summer or to begin the January. Like, I just feel like
because the idea was to bring in a bunch of young players in the first place and to have somebody coach them.
The mistake that
was before Tuchel got. I mean, that was after Tuchel got.
The mistake that
the identifying of talent is not 100% on point yet.
It's too early to say with them, though.
The mistake that they made. This is the one mistake I'll point out that Bowley and Clear Lake have made is when they immediately came into the club. Todd made decisions that were out of his league. The man didn't know nothing about football and still doesn't in comparison to some of the heads that are at the club now. What Roman did that was clever when he took over the club, he went all the way up to Manchester and he said, you see, you, Peter Kenyon, you're coming back with me from Manchester and you're going to tell me on the way back which players I need to start this dynasty and you're going to go and get them because I'm going to put my trust in you. That's the mistake that Todd Bowley made. That's why you see them, that first transfer window that summer, how many of those players have remained at the club? That's a symptom of that mistake that he made. Do you know what I mean? But going forward now, he's hired those people. We've got several people, we've got several recruiters in the club that are quote unquote football minds that can go out there and get them players that can make those decisions. So right now, the blame's not really on Todd and the ownership because all they're being asked is give us they're saying this is your budget. I'm trusting you guys to go out there and get what we need and build this youth team or whatever it is that we're trying to build that's going to sustain us with success in the future. That's so really I'm holding the recruitment team responsible. Do you know what I mean? Because it's their decisions that are on the plate now that we're seeing these players that are coming in. And also as well, the manager's got to hold some of it as well, because obviously these guys can't sign a whole squad without speaking to the manager. The manager also has to have a part.
How long are you willing to wait? Because I know football is different to North American sports, and Todd Bowley and his people might be treating this like the MLB. They might be treating you guys like this is a long haul. You got to wait a while for you guys to be successful. I don't know if your plan is to be good in 3 years' time or even longer.
What's a while?
I'm not talking about you guys being competitive next season. I'm thinking they've bought all these young players and they're expecting you guys to be competitive when they're 25, 24. Like how many of these guys are 21, 20 years old? Like it could be 3 years before you're competitive.
It could be 3 years. It could be a season or two. Like really,
saying, how long are you willing to wait?
Like I'm looking at the squad now. Other than another striker, maybe a left back, maybe a goalkeeper. If Silva leaves, maybe another centre back, but that would be his depth.
Definitely
and then we should be in a position to contend.
Definitely a striker. Definitely.
So that's like
maybe a new stadium is the priority.
We should be contending for the title. That shouldn't take 3 years.
I'm just going to say this. Your owners have shown that they are willing to spend money, but at one point, are they going to start to show that they're willing to win by all means necessary? Because some of your signings, your whole thing that you've been doing, it's great. You're rebuilding. You're starting off fresh, but I don't see anything that's leading.
But then at the same time, Ego, that answer will come once we've quote unquote addressed the positions everywhere that we need to address. Do you know what I mean? Then we'll see what the ambition's about.
Holes will always pop up.
Sorry, say that again.
Every time you think you fill a hole, new holes will pop up. It's just
I think for me, it's the case of, you know, we've mentioned some players. I think we definitely need a striker. We need to get Osimhen deal over the line. I'm pretty confident we are going to try for that. Whether we're going to get him is a different question, but whether we're going to try 100%, I know we're going to do that. Don't trust this goalkeeper. I don't care what nobody tells me. I still don't trust him. He's got to show me better. Do you know what I mean? I'd prefer a better goalkeeper. Left back position is a big problem because, listen, people, Chelsea fans are going to go mad. I don't trust Ben Chilwell. Why? Injury record. Not saying he's shit. It's just his injury record's no good.
You'll trigger a few people with that.
And then when you look at the backup behind that, Cucurella, you see what I'm saying? How is he he's a left back, but he's been performing better right back. Everything just backwards with this brother. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make no sense. We need to address that. 100% we need to address that. Now, when I look at the wingers as well, you know what I mean? The goals, where are they coming from? Sporadically from Raheem Sterling. And even him, as well as he's played, he's very frustrating in front of goal. He's not clinical like that. He wastes a lot of chances, but he also scores them too. But I need more than one of those in that position.
I also need a couple big game performances from him too.
100%. But then, like, our outlets in terms of getting, we need to address that 100%. But I think, like I said, goalkeeper, left back, we need. I think we need another winger, and we certainly need another striker. 100%. 4 positions that need to be addressed.
And if that's the case, like, that's not going to take 2-3 years to get us into a position of being target contenders, or it shouldn't. So, like, I get what you're saying. When are they going to want to win? But, like, it's too early to read that far. Right now, it's about building a team, and then we can look about winning. Because we're not in a position to win. We're not in a position to contend. We're in a position to maybe win cups. Like, we should be doing well in the domestics. Like, regardless of where the team's in the table, I've seen poor teams go to finals in cup competitions. Portsmouth 2010, Cardiff v Portsmouth was an FA Cup final a few years ago.
Yeah,
Wigan, they won the FA Cup, got relegated to the Emirates a few days afterwards. We can make the Carabao Cup final. FA Cup, I mean, as long as you don't buck City, same energy. But for us, it's like we can still, in spite of all of that, we can at least build that winning culture now. But that's only through the cups. In the league, like, just do well, build a team with experience, potentially get back into Europe. Then maybe next year, once we filled out the remaining
goals. That's what we did in 04. Because if you remember what the players said, you remember when we started that kind of run to our success, the first cup that we won was the Carling Cup. And one thing that I took from that win, right, was the players turned around and said a few years later, it was that cup there that got them their first taste of success, and they never wanted it to leave. So I agree with you when you say that. We got to do well domestically. This is why I know this is going to sound mad because I've rinsed this cup before. The Carabao Cup is a little bit more important to me for us to win now because I want us to breed some kind of success. I want them to get that feeling as well. And where we're at and where we've been for the past year, more than that, we have been in the trenches. So right now, we need to take anything that comes our way.
I'm with you, man. I never thought I'd speak about the Carabao Cup like that too, but yes, we need that. I treat that like it's a European competition because I need these players to learn what it feels like to win. And also, we don't have enough competitions anyway. Like, that should be an advantage. The fact that we're playing one game a week most of the time. And now City's gone. Spurs are gone. The race has opened up a little bit for that.
Until you get back fully healthy and you see your best team playing, no one's going to actually know what Chelsea's made of.
But then that's why we can't really judge anything and write it off too much now. We can only call it by a game basis.
I'm not doing that. All I'm merely saying is, from what we've seen from Chelsea, you guys are very inconsistent, non-clinical, and immature, just like some of your players.
Inconsistency comes with a young squad, though, so that's to be expected. Maturity as well comes with age and experience, so that's also to be expected. But this is why I say, you're not wrong in what you're saying, but this is why I also say, we have to accept the position that we're in, whether we like it or not. We are in a developmental phase in all aspects of the word. New ownership, basically a brand new squad, a squad of babies as well that need to gain experience. Those 3 things combined are not going to win you major honors. They're just not.
But you know something? You guys are realistic. Tell some of your fans to calm down. Because
No. Now relax with that. Sorry, I got intervened now. Goonie, don't listen to that. What you need to do, keep remembering this, the level that you've seen of your club, and do not allow this whole transition thing to be there for too long. What the problem is there can be some understanding. Yeah, when a guy said to me, "Oh, I'm impatient," I've been waiting 20 years. The last time I saw my club win a Premier League, I was 12. I don't think that's impatient. I'm 31 today. You know what I'm saying? Not today, but I'm 31 right now. You can't tell me that that's impatience. I've been patient.
91 babies.
So when you see me, I know you didn't know me all that time, but I've been while I've been impatient, I've seen Chelsea win everything in Europe. Yeah, I've seen Man City win in Europe. I've seen other teams, Chelsea, come up, winning Premier Leagues. I've seen so much in the time that my club has started to use. We don't have money. Youth project. We've gone through 3 youth projects, bro. Don't allow your club to keep selling you the youth.
No way.
Of course, this season, I get it that you guys are going to be more patient. I think Lewis said this when I asked him. I get it. Yeah, I get it. It's not Poch's fault, and there's a lot that needs to be addressed. The problem is with clubs like Arsenal and Man United. I remember Man United, yeah, everything was a failure except winning trophies, which should be the standard. Now they're like, oh, give it time. Oh, it's not the players, it's this manager or it's certain players. Bro, keep the standards, bro. Because once the standards drop, look how long it's taken us to get our standards back up, bro. Look how long it took Liverpool to get their standards back up.
But North side,
they're still trying to find their standards.
North side, I'll say this though. With the targets that we're actually going for, going forward, right? I know we're going in for Osimhen, and I might get laughed at in the comments, but I might have the last laugh later. We're also going for Musiala as well. Those 2 players join Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, next season, I'm not tolerating nothing else other than at least 1 cup and at least a title charge, or to finish close to that. Do you know what I mean? Comfortably in the top 4. I know people say, well, you need top 5 to get into it. Nah, I want to see us. If we don't get second place, I want to see us like 1 or 2 points off that. The standards are going to still go up, but I need to see something. 100%.
That's going to be some crazy front.
I can't wait. I can't wait when you guys see that this is the state of your club for a little bit longer, and I see how impatient you guys actually start to become. Because this season, Lewis has patience. You back the manager. I seen last year you had patience even a little bit for Potter, and then eventually it got to a situation where you said we have to start winning games.
I'd say patient, but I've been very critical of Poch this season.
There's going to be a point. There's going to be a breaking point where it's we need to stop doing this project and we need to start winning now. And if this situation can continue for the way I think it's going to continue, you guys are going to start buying some big players this upcoming summer, and next year you'll be competitive. But for now, this season, you might have to weather the storm the whole year.
Guys,
but we got to get back into Europe.
I don't think you're going to get back into Europe.
Listen to the way he's talking about Chelsea, because Agal, don't you think this season we're at that point that we have to now deliver?
Yeah, but we're talking about different standards. We're talking about winning the league. They're talking about getting back into the Champions League.
But bro, let's be real, yeah? You're talking about Chelsea and they have to get used to this. Let's keep it real. You're trusting in a process and a youth project, which is our 3rd one that we've won no major honors.
Bro, we're no longer in a youth project.
The Chelsea model has still won them everything in world football. They may not have been dominating like they were in the times of Mourinho.
That Chelsea model, they have been with the sanctions.
They have still been able to win. Oh, they won a Champions League not that long ago.
That was pre-sanctions. Everything.
What I'm saying is their club is different. Their club is a little bit. I can't lie to you.
Their club.
You're talking as an Arsenal fan the way that we do things. Yeah, but let's be real.
Their club for 20 years was competitive, but that club is dead and gone. Todd Bowley's in charge.
I wouldn't say it's dead and gone.
Chelsea, in the name of what Roman built and those competitive years where you're winning every year, is not the team that you see in front of you today. That is just the honest truth. Roman Abramovich would never.
Yeah, but you could say our team was changing a lot around that for the last 5 years in general.
Roman Abramovich's Chelsea would never basically wash their hands of a season, which you guys have done last season.
No, but he spent money.
I mean, 2016, we kind of did
finish
that.
10th. Yeah, we did. But
Yeah,
then
but
we
what
won
you
The
guys
Europe.
relegation
understand,
were
but
like
you're
Christmas.
expected
We're
this
all in
season.
Hiddink
But
and
look,
we're like,
Lewis, the only difference, the
You're
only
expected
difference,
this season
the
to have
only
no
difference with
expectations
Roman.
again.
But what is the difference
no,
between
no
Roman and now?
expectations. We want Europe. We want the cups.
The difference between Roman and now is they might still be splashing the cash, but they don't show from their signings of managers and their signing of players that they're trying to win now. Where Roman Abramovich, from the moment he walked in, I remember when he walked in the door, he went out and started bringing in the best he could in every position. He started off by bringing in managers.
Oh, wait.
We,
We didn't look like that under Villas-Boas or under
bro,
Sarri.
in 2003, before you guys even won your first league title under Roman, you guys were signing some of the best players across Europe.
We have tried to do projects. They've just failed for various reasons. But we're not going to like Roman hasn't tried to be patient.
Bro, I'm not saying everything Roman did throughout his whole time was perfect. I'm just merely saying he was always in a win now mode. He was never a situation where he was sitting there and telling you we're doing project use from the beginning. Even if you did
No, but he has shown patience to managers who have failed within a season. It's
But
just they
that's
failed
different.
for other
That's
reasons.
different.
Conte was going to get another season, but he fell out with the board. Sarri was homesick and wanted to go back to Italy. But they were both going to be given extra opportunities.
Maybe you guys do it different. But from what I'm saying is Roman Abramovich was a proven serial winner, continuously did it for you guys. And Chelsea under new ownership, under new regime, cannot be spoken about as if they're the same Chelsea under Roman Abramovich, because even under the sanction, before the sanction happened, with a team that you guys would say was not the best, you still went on to go and win a Champions League.
But Roman didn't inherit a team that was on the decline. We inherited a team that was on the decline, and then we rebuilt it in the space of a year.
Todd Bowley didn't inherit a team that was on the decline. That team was
declining.
He inherited the Champions League winners. He inherited
Champions League winners. All see. Well, anyone with brain cells.
Roman Abramovich. I think he got a team that was in fourth in the league that was just came off winning a cup for the first time in how many years before then. I'm not going to sit here give anybody a history lesson on their club. I think you guys know that well enough what I'm talking about. I'm merely saying until Todd Bowley delivers and shows you guys that he can deliver, you can't sit here and tell me it's the same Chelsea. Same way where we were on our owner's ass for many years to get us to compete. Just show us you can get us to compete. Since they've taken over and they've fully gotten ownership, they've now said, you know what? They show that they're trying to compete.
I agree with you to a point. I just don't think it should be a stick used to beat Bowley with just yet.
No one's saying Bowley out. I'm just merely saying.
No, but you said he's the biggest reason for why we are where we are right now.
Yeah, because he's come in and he showed no competency as an owner yet.
I think it's more a necessary consequence of making such a quick clear out. But it was again necessary. We needed to do it.
Bro,
like,
you're making yourself sound like this sounds like copium. You are saying to yourself, what happened needed to happen. So you needed
we had about 10, 15 players we needed to get rid of.
That's true. We did need to get rid of a lot of them players.
Okay, so maybe you needed to get rid of those players. You said to me earlier you didn't need to sack the manager. You said to me earlier you did finish 10th, but now you finished even worse than that. Now, come on.
Even with Tuchel, before
even the managerial hires and fires, you admitted that these are mistakes. So in one breath, you want to say, you know what, he made mistakes. In other breaths, you want to say, oh, it wouldn't have been any different under Roman. Clearly, it would have been different under Roman. At your worst under Roman, you finished 10th. The next year, you won the league. At your worst now, you finished less than 12.
No, because we had a team that had won the league the year before.
Bro, you were worried about relegation on a serious note. Like let's keep it a buck. For a second, you were
because that was a team I already had no faith in before Tuchel had got sacked, let alone after.
My point is not that Todd Bowley can never not win anything with Chelsea. It's just since he's come in, he hasn't shown a level of competency as an owner to step back.
He's shown positives and he's shown negatives, but it's fair to address both of them. I can agree and say he's done some things wrong, but I can also say he is not the biggest problem that we've had.
No, he's not. And then,
so you're gonna blame who? Potter?
No. He got also as well.
Who hires the managers?
Who goes away from their philosophy? We said that about Potter. I said that about Poch at the start of his reign. He was going against the stuff that worked for him.
Bro,
that's
the man
what
was basically
Potter did, and that's Graham Potter's fault.
How do you not realize that a guy who never managed or even ran a football club was basically your DOF going around having dinners with people in Barcelona, and you're acting like this is normal?
That was a big mistake.
Going around networking.
I called in terms of pressing a button on signing players. That was a big mistake. I've already called that one out there. Do you know what I mean? But also as well, we also have to contextualize this as well, man. Two things. One, he's not had the club for that long in comparison to other clubs that are around Chelsea. And another thing is we can't compare 03, 04 to this era now, because when Roman actually came in during that time, it was really Chelsea that had that level of money to spend, and Manchester United as well. Outside of that, there weren't really clubs out there that could do a quote unquote rebuild like what we did then. But now money is not as important anymore as it was back then in the context, because you've got other clubs around that can spend that type of money as well. So that also makes it a little bit more difficult.
I'm not sitting here saying Todd Bowley's every issue. I'm just saying the ownership change is the biggest difference in Chelsea right now. And that is the reason why I'm saying it's not the same Chelsea. When you talk about Chelsea for 20 years, this is basically Chelsea 2.0, or should I say B-Tech version of
I get you where you say it's not the same Chelsea, but it's not something that Bowley should be getting beaten with just yet. He's
Maybe
changed
not.
things up. He's brought in a younger group
take?
of players. We can't judge them like 3 months into it and say Bowley failed. Can't say that.
I'm not saying Bowley failed. I'm just merely saying Roman Abramovich's Chelsea would not be in a rebuild sitting 12th with a bunch of unknown academy players. They would have had a top manager, and they would have signed top players, instead of signing
Roman's Chelsea. I could also say would have been keeping the same deadwood that we would have had at that time anyway.
Instead of signing Cole Palmer, you would have gotten James Maddison. You would have gotten players that could help you win now.
Cole Palmer's been our best attacker the last 3 games.
I know he has. Even though you could have one of the best signings in the season with James Maddison from Tottenham. That's currently at Tottenham.
Maybe, but when James Maddison went to Tottenham, we were focused on clearing out players. That was the plan at that point.
My point, Lewis, I'm going to stick to it. If you had Roman Abramovich right now, I would be sitting here and I would say, you know what? This ownership has shown that they have they have experience in winning, and they know how to get it done. This new ownership doesn't. They don't have that experience, and they have not done it before. And until they do it, you cannot sit here and speak about Chelsea if it's the same Chelsea. It might be the same Chelsea by name.
Around in circles, because I said I agree with you on that part.
Okay, so that's my main point. I'm not sitting here saying everything Roman did was perfect or everything Todd Bowley did is bad. I'm just merely saying Chelsea in name is a big club, and you guys won a Champions League recently. But going back to what my man said, we can't use that recent success as a stick to say, oh, it's going to continue. Similar to how Liverpool just recently won, Glazers won, but that was how many years ago? Like we can't talk about Glazers winning in 2013. It gets to a point where you start looking at the ownership and you say to yourself, they are.
But no one brings up our old trophies to big up the new ownership. No one does that.
No, but he just clearly did, to big up the club, not the ownership.
Yeah, but that's still the club.
This is why I brought it up.
Ownership changes, but Chelsea is still Chelsea.
The whole reason why I brought it up is because Northside brought it up as a reason to say why Chelsea are a big club and they're successful. And I'm just telling you.
So because we have a new ownership, we've lost the whole big club tag.
No, you've lost the way you used to win. The way you used to win was win now. Your whole philosophy under Roman Abramovich is, I don't know if tomorrow's promised. Let's win
right now. We don't have the players to win now.
No, but your whole philosophy is no longer win now. Your philosophy is now built for the future.
We need to get to a position where we have a team that can win now before we can even consider that.
Bro, listen to what I'm saying. Your philosophy as a club has changed. You are no longer Jose Mourinho, win now. Bring me experience. Bring me the best player. Bring me Cannavaro. Bring me Petr Cech. Bring me Drogba. No.
So what you're saying, Igal?
You're doing the opposite.
So what you're saying, Igal, is basically, until the proof is basically in the pudding, is what you're saying. Until we win something, do you know what I mean? That's when we can say, like, you know, we can be that successful club. Because I don't necessarily disagree with you, bro. This is the thing. A lot of what you're saying is true. Do you know what I mean? Because again, like, for many people, seeing is believing, and we haven't seen this ownership do it. And the way this squad is tailored, and I'm sure you can agree, Lewis, this squad isn't built to win the Premier League now. We'd be lying
Not
to
now,
ourselves.
but again, that's why we can't use that to say it's done. The whole
Your
mentality.
manager is not even to win now.
Future and no, like if we have a young squad and we build them up to be a level that can win now, then how can we determine whether the mentality is going to stay the same? Wait, how are we going to determine if the mentality stays the same and if it's about bringing in more youth players or if it's about now winning now with the crop of players that we already had? It's just it's too early to call.
The only person
right now we're in the stage of building young players. Once they've got a bit more experience, then we'll know whether the idea is to win now or if it's actually something more worrying and we're trying to farm them for profit or something. It's way too early to call that.
Let me ask you a question. The attitude of your players has changed. That's how you know your culture has changed. Last season, you guys were losing games and people were just going on like it was nothing. Before, when Chelsea used to lose games as a rival, I would see them. They would be mission impossible, ready to win the next
I've got
because
a kind
to
of
a lot of people, the season was done as soon as Tuchel
and also as well, there is such thing. We've seen it not just at Chelsea, but that was a very extreme situation. But players do down tools when they don't want a manager, regardless of what anyone says. There was a point where these Chelsea players, they didn't respect the manager, and you could see it's clear as day, and they down tools. Now the problem is when you down tools for a certain amount of time, you're relying on getting back to your best when your manager does come. And when you're playing at the professional level, that doesn't happen because other players around you continually improve. And then when you do decide to switch on your best not might be what it was before. You see what I'm saying? These guys, they purposely down tools 1000%. So I can't really, that's what I really put it down to 100%. I think, who else? Manchester United, they saw it with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As bad as they were playing, at some point you could see their man was just like, nah, this manager is not it. And we're going to do our part to try and get him out of the club. They won't come out and say it in the media because they can't. That's a contractual violation. And obviously it's putting the club in a bad light. But it's their actions that show it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a similar situation with Potter, because when I look at Pochettino now, and although he's not got the results that we all want, you can see there's an element of respect that's still there, and the players are still buying into what long-term he's going to put towards these players. You know what I mean? Because we didn't really see this with Graham Potter like that. So I really think it was more down to the manager and a lack of respect for him, because you're looking at a man that's just come in from Brighton and has won absolutely F all in football. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Right, I'm just going to go through a couple of these super chats for you because I know a lot of you guys have been waiting. Big up to everybody who has donated, by the way. Big up to Tiang Yang saying Northside reminds you of Goonie when he is angry at Kai. He reminds me of me, bro. He's saying the same things I've said for 3 years, brother. Ben, I know you tried to catch us out. We are better than that, but I do appreciate the donation. Big up, my guy. Fata says, Igal, what is Arteta's plan with Havertz? Oh, God knows.
Simple. He's going to play him in either the false nine position or in the midfield. And if we need to play him, in the midfield, it's going to be a situation where he's used in the left 8.
Well, hopefully he starts one of those positions. I can't read the other one, DK, because that one's just crazy. But big up, my guy, saying Poch's never lost a home game to Arsenal. God willing, that streak continues, please, because we need that.
That was at Tottenham.
What?
That was at Tottenham.
Yeah, PSG. Yeah, they didn't play Arsenal. Or Southampton. Yeah, Southampton as well. DK says Caicedo will cook jollof rice just like last season. Again, God willing, that's going to be a key battle in the midfield. Big up RK saying Chelsea will beat Arsenal 3-0. Fucking crazy.
I wish.
That would be an insane night if we pulled that off. Big up my guy Ben saying big up the boy Lewis, getting this knockout Saturday for you, son. Best of luck in the fight too, my guy. Now enjoy the Magnums. Appreciate that, bro. Northside and Igal, best 5 Arsenal players since 2010. Northside, we'll start with you.
Alexis Sanchez. What else am I going to go with? Obviously, Saka has to be up there. Who else am I going to go with? Jesus. I do like Jesus. It's about 3. Saliba put in there. Van Persie? Nah, come on. Relax.
What about
relax? I'm Van Persie.
Big man thing. Where do you rank Samir Nasri? Because to me, that boy was a baller. Or are you just don't want to rate him?
He's a snake. He can go. he can go kiss my shoe.
No, I rate him. I rate him. He did the right choice for his career. Yeah, he went to win.
Yeah, he can kiss my shoe.
One person definitely gets in there, 100%.
I got a different list to you. One of my favorites in the Emirates era, Alexis Sanchez. Another favorite, Santi Cazorla, the last player I bought a kit with his name on the back of my shirt. Santi Cazorla. Another person, this one might catch people off guard, but I really like Theo Walcott. I rated Theo Walcott, right? I just feel like he got too much hate from a lot of people, but like the guy had a 30-goal season, I think, 1 year, if I'm not mistaken. Like how many players have done that recently at my club? Like I don't think too many players have. So I'll give him credit when credit's due. He did have some good performances. Then the last two, I don't want to go anyone from the recent days. I'm just going to keep it to the old days. I'm going to go with Ozo also. I loved Ozo. And then finally, in the back end, 2010, was Fabregas still there?
Now, Lewis, man, what you doing? What's this say?
Was Fabregas still there?
Was who? Fabregas. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, he
bro.
was. Yeah, you got to put him in there, 100%. He's got
That smile's just too hilarious, bro. I swear.
Yo, no one's putting Willian, bro. Bun that guy. You know what? Big up Willian. He actually ripped up his own contract and didn't charge us anything.
I think you went from bun that guy to big up Willian in like 2 seconds.
No, because he ripped up his own contract. Big up to him.
Yeah, I remember that. He ends his contract 2 years early, moved back to Brazil. I didn't expect that. I rated that.
Now he's in Fulham. Make it make sense.
Yeah, he's playing better there, which is crazy. Max says, Egal trying to inject us with them Arsenal vibes. We different to your shit club, bro. Todd owns other sports clubs that are serial winners. So what are you saying? I actually
like who?
Let me check. I think there's other ones.
I can't speak on the Dodgers.
I don't follow that.
Yeah.
Let me check. So there's.
Are you talking about the Sparks?
The LA Dodgers. The LA Dodgers. I'm talking about the LA Dodgers.
Yeah, you know what he did.
I don't know how successful they are, but
he actually robbed the FSG lot for their best player. He took their. They imagine Chelsea getting sold Mo Salah after they win the Champions League because they think he's getting old.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That would be hilarious.
That's what the Dodgers did to the Boston boys. FSG absolutely messed up that one. Anyways,
not my owners. But just before we wrap up the stream, let me get everyone's score predictions. I'm gonna say I've been saying 1 goal in this game, so I'm going 1-0 Chelsea. Don't ask me how or why or where we're getting that goal. I'm just gonna say 1-0 Chelsea. Igal, what are you saying?
After all I've said, I'm going with the 2-0 Arsenal victory.
2-0 Arsenal. Cool. North side?
2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. And last but not least, Goonie, what are you saying?
I can never ever bring no matter how much, or lack of confidence that I have, I can never ever bring myself to say that we're gonna lose to Arsenal. Never. So I'm just gonna go with 2-1. I'm just being optimistic for the sake of being optimistic here, innit? So 2-1 Chelsea. Come on, man. Let's get an impressive win and let's actually start something special. You get me? So Chelsea.
Perfect. Well, guys, it's been an unbelievable stream. I really enjoyed this one. Guys, on the playback, I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Big up to everybody that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe. Again, before you lot leave, forget the likes and all of that. Check out everybody's socials in the title. I want everybody subbing right now. Doesn't even take you away from the stream. Head over to Egal Talks Football. Head over to Northside. Head over to Man Knows Football. Hit that sub button immediately, people. And guys, it's been real. It's been great to be on.
Get out.
Southgate out and all of that. We might do a career mode stream. So apologies in advance to everybody. But check that out. We'll be live with Egal on his channel at 7 p.m. So everybody head over there. And yeah, we are redirecting to Assam. Everyone head over to Assam and tell him big up Everton, innit? Yeah, tell him big up Everton. We'll be back tomorrow, people. And Southgate out.